My name is Jeff Gere, and I'm here on ThinkTech Hawaii to introduce you to the upcoming Talk Story Festival, the biggest storytelling event in the state. This is the 25th year. Now, I know you at home are wondering, how could a man who looks so young be the host of an event that's 25 years old? My wife wonders that too. I've got a lot to show. There's a lot of great storytelling talent coming together for the Talk Story Festival. I've brought 8 different video clips and a lot of pictures. One of them is behind me. Notice anything common? Good-looking guy. Very excited to bring you the Talk Story Festival. Let's start the first clip so you can just get right into it. Let's go right now. It's time for the Talk Story Festival. 2 free nights of storytelling at the Alawai Golf Clubhouse free. Friday night, it's spooky tales. And believe me, they will be. Saturday night, it's deep tales. Stories can help you feel and think deeper. And there's a free storytelling workshop Saturday afternoon, too. Oh, it's a feast of stories, all for free. 2 free nights, a workshop, too. Friday and Saturday, 6 to 9, Alawai Golf Course, the Talk Story Festival. Brought to you by your Parks Department.
It's time to start the spooky show. The storytellers are here now. So let's start the show. What do you say? Welcome to the Storytelling Festival! Talk Story! Give yourselves a hand for being smart enough to come down here. My name is Jeff Gere. I'm the City and County of Honolulu's Department of Parks and Recreation's drama specialist. And while I can, I'm putting on a great festival free in this building because we ought to have a storytelling festival, don't you think?
Now, what you saw was just my introduction to one of the first 2 nights. The first night is always spookies, and we always have a huge house. Something about Hawaii and spooky stories. People go nuts for it. You're invited. I'm letting you know. The first night, Friday night, October 18th, spooky stories, and they will be. People say, oh, shall I bring my kid? I'm like, if you've got a kid who likes to get freaked. They say, well, yeah, he does. Bring him down. This is not a kid show. This is really going to give you the chicken skin. We've got a lot of people that do that kind of thing, and the best of them are all coming to the Talk Story Festival. The next one coming, oh, I didn't mention, in that clip when it opened, I was standing there talking with a woman. All of the storytelling has a sign interpreter with its own lights, so that visually there's a storyteller, there's a sign interpreter, and then also we videotape everything that's going on stage, so the video is projected beside the stage. So there's 3 different elements visually going on all the time. Not to mention that storytelling is an internal process where the stories go in. Open your mind. So you can literally be in a room with 600 people listening to one guy talking up on the stage, and you can hear the baby gurgling in the back row. They're breathing together. 600 people go, whoa. That's the magic of storytelling. Here's one that we bring in every year. She is a star from Maui. She puts on her alias called Tita. Oh, I don't want to give it away. Just let the clip roll. You'll see what I mean. Kathy Collins.
And then I have to apologize because I'm not a storyteller, but my best friend Tita is. So I'll get her for you right now. So what? How you guys stay, eh? All right. You gotta treat Pele with respect. But you end up like Pu'u o Inaina or any one of those poor teen guys, all the lovers that Pele had. You make her mad. Brother, she chase you down. And when she catch you, she grab you with her fingers, burning into your flesh, just like white-hot branding irons, the kind they use at Halakala Ranch, make your flesh sizzle like bacon. But she no let you muck you die dead yet. Ah. Then she pour her lava all over you. Start from the head, going down to your shoulders. Real slow. So you feel the pain inch by inch. And you smell your own flesh burning up. And the last thing you seen is the eyes of Pele staring right back at you like two little black coals. She cover you in lava and she leave you there for teach everybody else one lesson. She turn you into a big hunk of lava rock. That's what we call one hunk of burning lava. True story, honest promise. I no kid you for real kind.
Yeah, that was Kathy Collins from Maui. You know, this year she's going to be doing 2 selections from the Pele and Hi'iaka epic. 2 nights, 2 different stories from that tome that goes on for weeks. I can't wait to see it. Friday and Saturday night down at the Alawai Golf Clubhouse. Don't say I didn't tell you. Okay, the next storyteller is from the mainland. She's from Ohio. Lynn Ford, this is her 4th trip. She's a good friend. She is huge. This woman plays in every major city. She is a storytelling star. She's like a monster in the room. But what does she like to do? She likes to come to Hawaii and she likes to drive around and she likes to cuddle with her husband on the beach. We can't keep her away. I have her at my festival. I don't pay her. She wants to come. This is her, Lynn Ford. She tells spooky stories. Oh, hold on. Let's give you just a little taste.
Again. Zuri started washing her dresses and hanging them on the line, and nothing was bad. Everything seemed fine, except for that rose bush that had grown into a thorny vine with huge, thick, black thorns that stuck out like long fingernails, and roses such a blood-red black that they looked like clotted blood. That was the only thing that seemed different. But she would leave that behind, and as she hung the dresses, she heard in the wind that blew around her, "Zuri killed me. Stew she cooked me. Brewed the meat away from my bones. Here I lie, the vine above me, lying here beneath the stones." "Shut up," said Zuri. "Shut up. Don't sing anymore. Don't sing." And the voice continued, "Zuri killed me." "Stop, stop," said Zuri. And she ran to the shed and she came back with an axe. "Stew she cooked me. I'll stop your singing. I'll stop you right now." She ran forward. It could have been the root of a nearby tree. It could have been the thorny vines. She might have tripped over her own feet. All Zuri knew was that she fell forward, and the axe flew from her hand. And as she fell into the thorny vines, the thorns pierced her hands and her arms, tore at her face, cut through her veins, sliced at her wrists as the vine held her fast and the blood poured from her body into the ground. And as Zuri's life seeped away, the earth opened and up rose that girl, smiling and dressed in the dress that had been wrapped around her bones.
Ew. Didn't I tell you she can tell a spooky story? Now, the next storyteller that I want to introduce you to is named Ann Glover. She plays international children's festivals as much as she does storytelling festivals. She tells stories with string. You'll see. Let's let her go. She's from Canada, and she loves Hawaii. I love her. She's touring all the libraries. There's like 6,000 shows in every library across Hawaii. But never mind. Let's see Ann Glover do a little story for you.
And you see over there, in the far corner, by the window, just standing there, on 4 legs, waiting for you. There's a chair. And it was a long walk to this house in the clearing, in the woods, next to the pond. So you go over to the chair, you sit down, and you look out the window. And straight in front of you, there's this tall tree. On one of the branches of the tree, there's a little bird. And the bird spreads its wings, flies away. And you see on the ground over there, there's something in the grass, moving slowly, crawling towards the pond. It's a little turtle. You watch the turtle as it comes all the way over to the edge of the pond, and then it slips into the water and disappears. And now inside that house where you are, next to that chair you're sitting in, there's a little table. And on the table, there's a book. You pick it up. It's by Dr. Margaret Reed MacDonald. You open the book, and in the book, what is there? Stories.
There you go, Ann Glover. Now, just so that you're not confused, all of this is coming down in 2 nights in one site. The site is the Alawai Golf Clubhouse, the 2nd floor where the ballroom dancers dance. We're going to be there for 2 nights. Friday night, October 18th, is Spooky Nights. Saturday, it's called Deep Tales, tales to make you think deeper. Now, I'm both the host, my name is Jeff Gere, I'm the drama specialist for the City and County of Honolulu, and it's my great pleasure to bring you the Storytelling Festival every year. I put on lots of looks when I do that. Some of them, times I wear yellow. Now, just so that you're not confused, I'm not only the host, but sometimes when somebody doesn't show up or we're running actually on time, I have time to tell a story too. Here's one of those instances at the Talk Story Festival, which I hope will reoccur on the 18th and 19th down at the Alawai Golf Clubhouse. Let's run the clip and see what Mr. Jeff does.
So I was once on Lopaka's ghost tour, and he began the tours and he said, how many of you believe in ghosts? And some of them rose their hands, and some of them said, how many of you don't believe in ghosts? And they rose their hand, and he goes, well, that's great, because you that don't believe in ghosts won't be calling me up because something followed you home. Ha ha. And I say, I've got a story for the guys that don't believe. And they, you do? You do? You do? And Lopaka said, oh, here it comes. And I say, yeah, I'm a storyteller, and I'm in the summer fun a lot. And I told stories to these kids. And I tell kids stories all the time, and afterwards they come up, and then in my face, sorry, I gotta go. I go. So I'm at behind Punch Bowl, down in that valley there, Pahoa. Little park. Kids are great. Having a ball. It's just before lunch. After I tell my stories, kids are in my face. Yeah. But I notice back in the back, there's this one kid like this. I kind of watch him, Kids, bye, bye, bye. You got something to say? When my grandma died, I was in my bed, and my door was open, and I saw my grandma go by. And I said, Grandma? And my mama came in from the kitchen, and she said, you saw her too? And the next night I was in bed, and I felt something, and I woke up in my bed, and there was my tutu lady. And she said, Keone, I will always love you. Always remember, Keone, I love you with all my heart. Tears are running down his cheeks, and I said, wow, she just couldn't go without making sure you knew how much she loved you. Yeah. And he walked away, and I turned to the people on Lopaka's ghost tour and said, so I'll bet that boy just made that up.
Oh, I can hardly contain my glee. I am an effervescent bubble. I am gleefully sharing with you. Can I infect you with my enthusiasm for what is going to be the biggest storytelling event in the state? And all you have to do is come. It's free. One of the good things that the City County of Honolulu's Department of Parks and Recreation does for we citizens. Now, our next storyteller runs Ong King. It's a alternative performance site on King Street called Ong King. It's upstairs, it's a little loft, and if you ever get in there on a first Friday, you'll be lucky because the place is packed. This girl runs events, runs workshops, runs retreats in that space. It makes my head spin. But what's phenomenal and why she's in a storytelling festival is because she is one of those people that life happens to, like it doesn't happen to other people. Like the things that happen to her don't happen to anybody else. And when she tells the stories, you're going, what? You're kidding. Well, let's take, for example, this next clip where she is attacked by a Doberman. Let's see what happens.
In my mind, I've already started paying for the vet bill that I'm about to encounter, figure out how I'm going to get the dog to the vet, whether or not I should go to the hospital first or should I take the dog to the vet, because I'm not really sure which way this is going to go, but I guarantee fighting a pit bull is probably not going to end up well for me or the dog. Right? I mean, that's just the odds there. Now, when I dove on top of the pit bull, I'm not exactly sure what maneuver I did in jiu-jitsu or what that was, but something to where I got one dog here, the other dog's under here, and I am just squeezing for dear life. Come on, buddy, it's me or you right now, and I swear to God, I'm not paying $600 for the vet today. You know that's how much vets are, just for a regular visit. Yeah, it's like $600 just to get their teeth checked out. Finally, this dog that is just, you just see the mouth, spit is flying everywhere. Bailey, I'm like kicking her over there. Finally, the kids grab Bailey. No one in the neighborhood is helping me. There are plenty of people sitting outside. Unemployment was pretty high in that neighborhood. It's not like a lot of people had a lot to do. So nobody was helping me. Everybody's just watching like, that white girl just attacked a pit bull. Who in the hell does she think she is? Finally, the dog kind of went limp a little bit, and I guess gave up to the extent either that or I had just totally exhausted it, and it was passing out. I did not kill it. Let's just make that clear. The dog was still alive. It was perfectly fine.
Where do these people come from? And how do they all come together for 3 nights, 2 nights, all the Hawaii golf? I'm your friend. I'm not trying to sell you a ticket. I'm trying to tell you about a good thing. Psst! Put it on the calendar. 18th and 19th, spooky stories and going deep stories. So much talent. Now the next guy down here, if you've ever gone to O'Toole's bar on a Saturday night and you've heard this kind of thumping Irish punk band called Doolin Rakes kicking forth at O'Toole's. This was the tall, thin guy with those long, emaciated fingers that plays the guitar like he's a spider. His name is James McCarthy. He's a very gifted, brilliant guy, a troubadour. And here he's singing a story last year at the Talk Story Festival about Gettysburg and the debauchery of war. Let's hear it.
Fly all fear and trepidation, the misgivings rise and go. Come courage and surround us as we face the grim-eyed foe in the fields of Pennsylvania where the golden flowers grow. We knew it as they knew it, they were marching into hell. And as one man they broke their ranks and screamed their rebel yell. All the cannon fire, it split the earth, the gunfire cracked the sky, and like wheat fields at the harvest they lay down in rows to die. And they flooded up across the stones and grabbed us by our coats. Without their shot or bayonets they grappled for our throats. But we were all the man for them, and so at last prevailed. We pushed them back across the wall. Lee's mighty stroke had failed. And as we mounded up our dead, I stopped to watch them go. Wounded, worn, and weary, with painful steps and slow, I felt a great elation that we had withstood their blow. But I knew that but for fortune's fling, I too might that way go. Oh, you sing about Cuchulainn and Boru, the great heroes, but for courage and blind loyalty the world may never know. As the young men from the Southland who left their blood to flow in the fields of Pennsylvania where the golden flowers grow. Fly all fear and trepidation, the misgivings rise and go. Come courage and surround us as we face the grim-eyed foe in the fields of Pennsylvania where the golden flowers grow. Thank you.
Good things happen to people who pay attention to the TV. And in this case, you've just seen some beautiful performances. There's going to be more at the Talk Story Festival in October, the 18th and 19th. Now, our next storyteller is Dan Kellen. Dan Kellen is the Honolulu Theater for Youth's drama education specialist. He really is. And he comes on stage kind of like a tornado. He's just this big, loud, brash guy, kind of shocking, kind of funny, kind of alarming. I love him. And we have him every year, and every year I have that same reaction. Should I have this guy back again? And the audiences always say, oh yeah, that was kicking. So here he is, Dan Kellen. You'll enjoy this one.
You knew that it was the cannibal woman. She picked up a bamboo stick and she started to sharpen it and she went running across that island. And when she came to the house of that cannibal woman, she opened the door and she saw that bulbous stomach of that woman. She saw the heel of a foot pushing out against the skin. She saw a twisted elbow poking out. And most terrible of all, she saw a face pushed against the taut skin, its mouth open in horror. And Wu leapt across the room and jabbed that stick into the stomach and ripped it open. And the cannibal woman leapt up screaming in pain. She ran about blind from that pain, and she bumped into the wall and bounced off of poles. And Wu chased around that room, and as she bumped and bounced, one child at a time popped out of the slit in her stomach. And when all the children were out, Wu swung that stick and sliced off the head of that cannibal woman. Plunk. There's 3 different morals that go with this story. You choose the one you like. Number 1, keep a sharpened bamboo stick with you at all times. Number 2, always listen to your mother. Or number 3, don't eat fruit.
Do you feel like you've just had a great meal, that you're sitting there content? I'm sorry, we're not done yet, because there are so many storytellers coming to the Talk Story Festival on the 13th. What dates were that again, Jeff? Well, I'm so glad you asked. What dates are they going to be? Well, it's October 18th are the spooky nights, and 19th, that's a Saturday night, it's going to be Deep Tales. That's from 6 to 9 p.m. 6 to 9 p.m. each of those 2 nights free. And if you don't think that's a gift course, hey, guess what? There's a storytelling workshop from 1 to 4 too. Look, go to HonoluluParks.com. HonoluluParks.com. What was that? Say it now. That's right. That's where you go, and when you do, you'll see Talk Story. You push that, it'll go to the website. Everything's listed there. But I'm not letting you off this quick, because I've got a bunch of pictures. I'm going to show their picture, tell you a little quick thing just to get your whistle wet. Now, featured on Friday, I don't want you to miss the fact that this next woman that we have back here comes all the way from Chicago. She's coming here. Her name is Ann Shimojima. I think of her as someone who talks elegantly. This sparse style, the stories come out of her, and you think, not too much to see, but when it's over, you're like, wow, she's wonderful, she's gifted, she's awesome. Don't miss Ann Shimojima. Let's go to the next slide. Who do we got? Oh, this guy, this man here, is Lopaka Kapanui. Now, Lopaka Kapanui is the preeminent ghost storyteller in Hawaii. He's written 2 books. He sees ghosts. He took over from Glenn Grant when Glenn got too sick. And he is the real thing. Speaks fluent Hawaiian, is a kumuhula, and he can deliver. What was that date again? October 18th, down at the Alawai Clubhouse, right? 6 to 9? Uh-huh. Now, who's next on this thing? Who do we have coming up? Ooh. Do you see this woman hooded behind me? I'm trying to let you see her. This woman here is named Karen Yamamoto Hackler. When you were growing up, she was in every Honolulu Theater for Youth play. She writes plays, she directs plays, she is a theater human. Now, this woman is coming to the Talk Story Festival on Friday night to tell a collection of stories that she heard from her friends about how their loved ones came back to visit. And then she weaves in the story of her own mother. She's waiting for her to come too. I'm not going to spoil it, that's enough. Now you know something about Karen Yamamoto Hackler. See this picture? This is, of course, Lynn Ford from Ohio, and this is Kathy Collins, our friend from Maui. They're just hugging from one of those times when they got together. It's just a sweet picture. Never mind. Let's go to the next picture. This guy's name is Moses Goods. Moses Goods has been in every theater act in Honolulu for the last 300 years. He is the handsomest Hawaiian I've ever seen. He must do canoeing because, gosh, he's got biceps and a forearm. Girls, pay attention. This man also just is coming to do a legend of voyaging that he did at the Smithsonian Institute. Think it's good enough for a Saturday night out? It's a free show. Bring a date. See Moses. Let's see another picture. Who else is coming up on Saturday night? This is Yasu Yoshida. Yasu is a Japanese national who's getting a master's degree at Manoa. The thing is that before he went to Hilo, he studied at the preeminent Institute for Magic in the United States. He's going to tell stories, folk tales woven into the story of his grandmother's death using origami folding papers to illustrate it. Am I beginning to twist your mind around the fact that the best storytellers that you can even imagine are coming to Honolulu October 18th and 19th, and all you have to do is have the good sense to turn off the TV and come down and hear them? Let's have another slide. That isn't the end. This is Pete Griffin. Pete Griffin comes from Alaska. He's coming to talk about the day when the rats invaded Juneau, Alaska. He's a naturalist. The guy's a whiz. Such a kind fellow. Let's have another one. Kilohana Silv, Kumuhula. She discovered when she lived and had a halau in Paris that telling the stories were the thing that helped the dancers to dance better. She sat back and said, wow, the stories have great mana. The power of the story can help the dance. She's going to come and tell stories on Saturday night just to get a little deeper in life. Next person, let's see who we got. Oh, that's the last one? Okay, well then give me that first one where Mr. Jeff is going off, because I just want to say to you out there watching that I have directed this event for 25 years. It is one of the most beautiful things that I do with my life. Why? Because the best storytellers in the state and the nation, in the best listening environment that I can possibly create, video, sign interpreters, hot tellers, and you all come together. It's the creation of story, it's a vision, it's shared breath in a space. We go somewhere, we walk away closer. October 18th is Spookies, 6 to 9 p.m., absolutely free, brought to you by the Department of Parks and Recreation. Saturday, the 19th of October, again at the Alawai Golf Clubhouse. Deep Tales at night, 6 to 9, and a workshop 1 to 4. Want to know more? www.honoluluparks.com. What's that website? Now, it's up to you. I'll see you at the event. Talk Story Festival. 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 Talk Story Festival.